In case you don't know, I had a 6-part series on my channel called Facts, Strats, and Glitches. It didn't really get that much attention, but it's probably one of the videos that I put the most time into. So I didn't really like the editing or anything in them either, but the facts and shit themselves are pretty cool. So if you want to check that out, there's a card at the right top corner of the video right now. Starting off with the very basic ones. In multiplayer, if you pause before you enter a vehicle, the engine won't start. Next one is when you're in water, if you try to move your camera up, it doesn't go up, it just gets locked until you reach like this certain point. It kind of depends on how deep into the water you are. The next one is since the animation for jumping has a slight delay to it, you can use this to kind of increase your distance. For example, here you can see if I jump while I'm on this building, it's kind of hard to get onto the other side. My character, I have to like grab onto it and shit. But if I jump a second after my feet are off the ground, the animation will make my character go up. So basically I'll just jump and then I'll go up and land on the building, and it's not even really close at all, as you can see here. Next one is when you're on a date with Michelle, like the very first one, you can just go to the pool place nearby instead of going to the fun fair. You can do any of the normal activities, I'm pretty sure, but I just do the pool one because it's the fastest and I don't really like Michelle. This next one I'm not so sure about, but it kind of looks like it to me. But basically on the taking in the trash mission, if you damage the dudes on the back, they'll have a different animation. Like it just kind of makes them look more down and injured, I guess. I mean, it's not really an animation anyway, because when they're on the back, I think it's like in the euphoria state or like the ragdoll state. So maybe that's why it looks different. I'm not really sure. If you can't really tell, then look at the guy on the left and compare the legs. If you're shooting at cops directly, as in like at them, not at their vehicles or anything, with an Annihilator, you don't get any stars. And when you do shoot at them, they go into a sort of panic state, like the people around them go into a panic state, where they just kind of run around aimlessly, but you don't get cops on you, they don't even try to attack you. It's really weird. The same happens to civilians, you don't get any stars or anything, but if you shoot at a car, even just once, you can get a star. And this kind of has this opposite effect of the fire truck thing that I mentioned in a previous episode, which if you don't know, basically, if you shoot at a cop directly with a fire truck, you'll get 6 stars like almost immediately. It's really weird. Next one is also pretty interesting. Basically, you can deflect rockets with yourself and or bullets. If you shoot a rocket, you can run into it and deflect it, and obviously this only happens with you. You can also shoot the rockets to deflect it. This also works in the multiplayer, but I think you have to shoot the rocket on their screen, because in a clip like this, it still blows up at the original location that it was going to, and in this clip, it went up and didn't hurt him. Also, you can shoot your own rockets without a trainer, you just have to do it pretty fast. Basically, shoot your rocket, then immediately switch to an MP5 or something and shoot the rocket. It's kind of hard to pull off, but you can still do it. It's not really useful either since it's so random. Also, a fun fact is that on my last, I think it's my last episode, I ran into a glitch where basically I could control my rocket. I don't really think I could control it. I think it just moved in the exact way that I moved, and the cop shot it or something like that. Also, you can shoot other things like the Molotov or the grenades. Of course, you can only shoot the Molotov when it's mid-air, and it's almost fucking impossible, and it's kind of useless anyways, because all it does is make it move further. But with the grenade, it makes it move further, but since it's a grenade, it's actually really useful, and it also works in multiplayer. Next one is basically if you get anybody into a taxi vehicle as a driver, like literally anybody, even a cop this can happen with, that person will act as a taxi driver. The only thing they won't do is respond to you and like, okay, let's go, or they won't say shit. They just do what you tell them. If you want to test this for yourself, then grab a taxi and get police stars, and then lose the stars fast, and then you should be able to get them into a taxi. Also, while you're in the taxi, whenever you aim your gun, the camera goes into the center. I think it's where the camera's at whenever you're choosing the next destination, but I don't know. The next one is that you can lock your cinematic camera whenever you're in a vehicle. It's best to do this with a controller in my opinion, but the way you do it is you pull down on the right thumbstick on the controller, and on the keyboard you pull down on the mouse. The one pretty big downside is that whenever you get cops on you, if they get close, then it'll automatically switch the camera to the car hood on that vehicle. It's really fucking annoying, but being able to lock the cinematic camera is really cool. Also, whenever you get out of range on the cameras that aren't attached to your vehicle, it'll move move, but I think that's for the best. The next two are EFLC specific ones, and the first one is this destroyed cap car. It's fully functional, as in like you can drive it and all that shit, but if you're wondering, the file name is called Police W, and it was used in the I Love LC cutscene in TBoGT. The second one is the pipe bomb blind enemies in The Lost and Damned. Throw a pipe bomb close to an enemy and they won't move or anything because they're blind. There's no visual indicator, so it's kind of hard to see, but I'll have like text on the screen that tells you when they're blind. I have a few that I couldn't really get recording properly. It was just really way too fucking frustrating and I didn't feel like dealing with it. And yeah,